happens. So, Cyril, you start.
October, what in tarnation happened to your face?
He shouted, drawing some attention to the bruises. Sometimes, readers, Cyril's old-timey slang really makes me laugh. I'm just waiting for him to shout, "Oh, my stars." In no time, all 5 dead kids were inspecting October's half-mowed face.
Did you eat a pie too fast and injure yourself?
Kirby asked, who is really one to talk.
Kirby, what happened, October? Who did this to you?
Tabitha demanded. That's not all, October admitted, pulling off a glove to reveal her bandaged left hand. Don't worry, it's not my writing hand.
So what did happen?
Derek asked. My friends and I were in a phone booth when someone tipped it over. There was a collective groan of pure disgust from the dead kids, followed by Cyril asking,
Phone booth? Like a little room in which you can speak to people far away.
Derek explained.
Using a telephone. Remember that thing that you yanked out of the wall at the police station? Yes. That was a telephone. But who did this to? Who should we live nightmares for the rest of their lives?
Tabitha was out for revenge. No one, October said. I don't know who did this. It's cold out here. Can we go inside one of the tombs? Cyril and Tabitha ghosted through a large stone mausoleum's door, then unlocked and opened it from the inside. That's what we're calling it when the dead kids walk through the walls from here on in, ghosting. The tomb was slightly warmer than the outdoors, but the group had to leave the door open so October could still see them, or see the dead kids. They all huddled around the tomb's central stone coffin to decide their next move.
We should find out who toppled that phone booth and punch them.
Derek said, I like the emphasis. Derek said, Tabitha agreed.
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Morna looked forlorn, but she was also on board with this change of plan. No, October said, ever the martyr. Morna, we're solving your murder first. That was the deal.
But your booth tipper is still in the loose.
Derek protested.
Whoever caused Morna to die is long dead.
Though I hate to admit it, there anything that's right about Mr. Running Water. Derek is making a lot of sense.
Kirby conceded. This isn't about making sense. I'm talking to a bunch of ghosts, October reminded. A heated debate followed about which mystery should be investigated first, with Tabitha and Derek championing the phone booth mystery, and October wanting to stick to the original agreement and give Morna's mystery a fair treat. Morna herself remained quiet for most of the discussion. She didn't want to seem selfish, but it was obvious that Morna felt like she'd been pushed aside.
Why don't we ask Morna what she would like to do?
Cyril asked. There was a reason he was the unofficial leader of the dead kids. All their sunken hollow eyes turned toward the Scottish girl in the moth-eaten gingham dress.
Well,
Said Kirby.
It makes no sense to look into the phone booth,
She said.
I can't wait. Are you certain, Morna?
Cyril asked.
She said what she was. She said what she was.
Tabitha said.
Yes.
Listen, we can do both at the same time, October suggested. We're smart, right? We don't have to decide on one or the other. Morna smiled a bit, but Team Phone Booth was already into phase 1 of their crack investigation.
Okay, first thing, October.
Derek began.
Take us to where it happened. Scene of the crime.
Tabitha shouted. Why?
They always do it in the movies.
Derek reasoned. But that didn't explain Tabitha's enthusiasm, since she died well before film had been invented.
and if the criminals have left any clues,
Kirby added.
That's where they'll be, doofus.
Hey!
Derek shouted. The dead kids sealed up the cozy tomb, and October guided them on a rare outside cemetery field trip to the gas station near her high school. Since a full day had passed since the incident, most of what normal people would call evidence had been confiscated by the police. All that remained was a stump of foam cord and glass shards sprinkled like Parmesan cheese over a Caesar salad where the booth once was. Gone was the booth itself, the military tarp, anything that could have helped the dead kids' investigation. As the crack mystery team circled the blank space where a telephone booth used to be, tiny water crystals began to fall from the sky. The winter's first snow had arrived, and October Schwartz, unlike most kids her age, was scouring a crime scene with a bunch of dead kids.
It's snowing!
Morna cried. From the sound of it, she was looking forward to days of skating and tobogganing. Kirby had other things on his mind.
Well, we'll have to hurry, then, before the snow covers any clues.
What are we looking for?
Tabitha asked.
There's nothing here.
October said the tarp had been spray painted with yellow paint.
Derek said.
See if you can find a can of yellow paint.
What about the boot prints?
Cyril asked, lifting his tricorn hat and scratching his sandy blonde hair.
Good idea.
Derek said.
Look for shoe prints, or fingerprints, or any kind of prints, really. I'm going to look through this bag of trash.
Derek announced, heading towards a pile of garbage bags that was collected by the curbside outside the gas station. That was another good thing about enlisting dead kids to help you solve your mysteries. Given they were all rotten flesh themselves, they didn't think twice about pawing through someone's moldy leftovers and soiled diapers.
Quiet!
Kirby commanded, cocking his head to the side like a dog who'd heard his own name.
Does anyone hear that?
Of course, they had all heard it. An engine accelerating, a car approaching in the night. Though no one could spot headlights, the sound was too small to be a bus or pickup truck, but it seemed too much for one car. Whatever it was coming closer, and in a hurry. Maybe you should hide, October said. What if someone sees you? She always feared someone would see her socializing with her ghost friends, though it was physically impossible for most people to spot them. But a certain percentage of people could see the dead, so it wasn't an unreasonable fear. Yumi had already proven she could see the dead kids. As far as October could tell, Sticksville was filled with little Haley Joel Osmonds, owning their sixth senses, spotting dead people at every turn.
Okay.
Derek said, mid-garbage rummage.
Everyone hide in the...
But it was too late. A dark-colored van appeared much sooner and closer than any of them expected. Screeching to a halt in front of the phone booth's remnants, the side door clattered open and little cylindrical projectiles began firing out the van's side. October took a hit in the shoulder, and then another in the shin. Was this a drive-by shooting? October couldn't help but think she was destined to die at this phone booth, one way or another, Final Destination style. Only fair, she figured, to go out like 50 Cent nearly had. And so, in this book, if you don't know what Final Destination or who 50 Cent is, you can actually go to the back, and there's a glossary, and you can look up that Final Destination is a horror film about a bunch of teenagers who cheat death by not getting on an airplane that later crashes. But death comes for them because they're supposed to die in that plane, right? And the teenagers die one by one in increasingly elaborate accidents. Or if you're confused as to who 50 Cent is, you can say, go to the back, right above it, it says, hip-hop artist best known for surviving being shot by 9 bullets, as well as hits like In the Club and Candy Shot. So you can always reference that. But we'll go back. October toppled onto the sidewalk and covered her face with her arms to shield it from the theoretical bullets. But she peered through one eye to scope out the rain of terror spouted from the van. Her dead friends were taking shots as well. Tabitha fell backward into some shrubbery. Kirby collapsed onto a half fence at the gas station's perimeter. The barrage eventually ended, and a head popped out the side's van to make sure October had been subdued. The face was covered in a blue mask. The person in the passenger side of the van was also, she noted, masked. The van was full of superheroes or Mexican wrestlers. Apparently satisfied with their work, they slammed shut the van's side door and gunned the engine, hurtling down the street still sans headlights. Someone was liable to really get hurt driving around that way, but given recent drive-by, the van passengers didn't seem overly concerned with public safety. Considering October was not bleeding profusely and just badly bruised, she quickly determined she had probably not been shot. That was a relief. The dead kids emerged from their respective hiding and or collapsing spots and tried to figure out what had just happened.
Do you think they saw us?
Morna asked, rubbing her neck.
I don't know if they saw us, but certainly hit us.
Kirby replied. So, Derek, from now on you have a lisp, so you talk like this, just so you know. It'll be obvious from the dialogue. Derek hoisted himself from the garbage and walked over to where the rest of the team had gathered, looking at the little cylinders wrapped in brown paper littered all over the ground. Snow had started accumulating, surrounding them with a wispy white powder. They're quarters, Derek said, opening his closed fist to display a roll of 25-cent pieces in his palm. He newly acquired a lisp after a volley of quarters had knocked out his 2 front teeth. What happened to your teeth? October was horrified.
I think I
Swallowed them.
swallowed them.
He